Guys, it's Kathy. Oh, what is this? I hope you guys are doing well. My hair is stuck in my headphone. Oh my God, did I have a day yesterday? I'm so sorry. I slept right through my alarm. I think Fozzie tried to call me too, and I didn't hear that either. I don't know how I woke up. We made it to Saturday. Oh man, I met the judge yesterday. I was standing in court 5 telling him I start a job on Monday, sir. Don't don't put me in jail. It was It was overwhelming when I first stepped in. When I first opened the door, which they locked us out, but they fixed it. And then I first stepped in, it was like there was court 5 and it was all decorated, um, with fall leaves and everything. It was really pretty. And there's the judge sitting right up way high. He sits up way high. You can't tell from the camera, but everybody's down real low, and he sits up real high. It was so cool. It was perfect. His seat, his setup, his bench is perfect. I think Judge Simpson sits up pretty high too. So, and I said hi vibers because I was terrified of skipping someone. So I had all these names rolling in my head, and then I thought, no, because if I skip someone, oh my gosh, that would have been terrible. So I said, hi, Vibers. Uh, but how was the fake live yesterday? I thought that was cool. I thought it was cool. I mean, I couldn't do a live. There was no way I could do a live. I was standing, you should have seen the lines at the airport. The airport was crazy. The whole plane ride was crazy. And then Miko hit me below the belt. Yep. He sends me a text message. He says, I can't remember verbatim, but he says, I love you, but I am never flying with you. He is never going to fly with me. I tried to um, look up what happened with my plane, like what the security thing was, and there was nothing. And there was another plane though that was diverted back to Atlanta yesterday. Probably the same time I was, probably the same exact time. It was uh, a college basketball team, I think, and they all started fighting on the plane, and they were going to Houston too. Oh man. So yeah, I got to see Lena's in person. She's amazing. Ramona is amazing. And Victoria is a little powerhouse. I love Victoria. And the judge. I had dinner with the judge yesterday. We all went out to dinner after court was over. And I wasn't trying to lie about going. I felt bad. I felt like I was lying, but I just wanted the spotlight on Linus because she just flew from the Netherlands to see the judge. So, yeah, I think she's having a good time. She had some fajitas yesterday, and you know how fajitas are. Everything's apart, and then you fill up your tortilla. Uh, she she had a Coke. She had a Coke at the restaurant, like this big, 12 ounces, whatever. And she points to it. She says, I can't believe how big your Cokes are here. I said, what? That's not big at all. Oh man, I should have got her a big gulp. She needs a big gulp. Somebody go get Linus a big gulp for crying out loud. And then we had the whole ice discussion. They don't if they put ice in their drinks over there, it's like 3 pieces. And ours is more ice than soda. And I guess it doesn't make sense because you pay for the soda and we fill it up with ice, but it tastes so much better when it's got all that ice in it. And we get free refills, so it doesn't matter. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I didn't I didn't hear about the tamale trick. I missed everything. It feels like I haven't seen you guys in, like, a week. I I I haven't heard my outro in a week. So, all I have is Judge Fleischer for today because I didn't have time to find anything else. I attempted to, but when I got home yesterday, last night, a couple hours ago, I had a power issue in my house that I had to fix, which ate up way more time than it should have. And I should have been able to find a couple clips, but no, I had to work on my power, my breaker box. But anyway, I didn't get shocked, which is shocking. It really is. No, she doesn't, Fozzie. She did a good job. She did a great job. She did exactly what I needed her to do. The list of everything she has to eat before she can go home is unfreaking believable. All right. I I missed it. I missed it if you typed what it was. No, you said the tamale trick was funny. I don't know what the tamale trick is. And now the tamale. I don't know. I don't know what that means. It's a joke that I missed. All right, let's get started. Let's do some Judge Fleischer. There he is. Looks like they're having issues right away Friday morning. Yes, Casey, me too. I don't know what their IP was, but they're looking into it. See, see this little leaf? It's decorated. The whole front is decorated in fall.
All right, guys, can you hear us?
Yep, I hear you, Judge. Oh, I can't see anything.
You can hear us better? All right, so it looks like it's much better. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Okay. All right.
I'm glad you fixed it.
Did you want to say something real quick? Yeah, no, Edna.
Yes, Your Honor. Oh, I'm sorry.
Edna, give me a second.
Yes, Your Honor, I have an arraignment.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was doing his arraignment. Just Edna, give me a second. Let me.
Yes, Judge, I just wanted to reapproach on his bond conditions, Judge. I just
Sure.
met Mr. Bohana yesterday. I wasn't aware that he is actually a truck driver. He has a commercial driver's license. He's a family man. He has 2 children. I would ask the court to consider giving him an interlock device or whatever the device the court deems okay to allow him to continue working.
Come up.
Judge, for taking the time.
Sure.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yes, sir.
You are a licensed truck driver and have a CDL. You allegedly have alcohol in the car. You are held to a higher standard because you have a CDL. In fact, your breath tests are even lower than what a normal person is
I didn't know that.
because of a CDL. And now you want me to just cut you some slack? Every person that comes in here, when they have alcohol in the car, I take away their ability to drive. Actions have consequences, and I understand that this is going to cost you big, but am I supposed to feel bad? Until I truly know that you appreciate the fact that the awesome privilege it is to be able to drive. I'm sorry. Show me that you understand and that you appreciate the ability to drive, and then I'll reconsider. But I have a real problem considering even that you have a CDL, you have alcohol in the car allegedly while you're driving. No. Take a seat for me.
Thank you.
Show me some time that he appreciates it and not this, oh, I feel better now. I'm like, no. Proactivity that he appreciates it. Come back and we can talk.
Yes, sir.
It's not a hard line and I'm not, we're not out for blood forever. It's just, I want to know that he appreciates it. It's not going to be an issue ever again. And then,
Yes, sir.
okay,
Thank you, Judge.
for sure.
All right, Judge.
All right.
Page 8, Ibarra, come on up.
I passed a Whataburger yesterday. Yes, I did. So thank you so much, ATX. I know you're not in here. Allie, but thank you so much for picking me up from the airport and taking me back. I know Houston Airport was a pain. The traffic was a pain. Guys, Allie drives like a beast. She's amazing. She's perfect. She got it out of, if she needed to be in this lane, she was in this lane. Cars, nah, don't worry about it. She was perfect. She drove perfectly through Houston, which so did Donald too. Donald really did a good job getting me around Houston. So Linus is in the best hands possible right now with Allie driving her around. And Allie has so many plans for Linus. Like tonight or last night, I can't remember if it was last night or tonight. A dueling piano bar. That's where Linus is going. And it's not like regular piano songs. These people will play anything you come up to them and tell them to play, they will play. Gangster rap, country, it doesn't matter. And they're comedians also. So they put on this whole show. So Linus had that choice. And Allie's brother-in-law, I think she said, was going clubbing around Austin. So Allie was like, look, your choice. I'm not going clubbing, Allie said. I'm not doing that. But you are free to go clubbing with them. You could go dancing all night, or you can come to this piano bar with me tonight. Oh my gosh, I don't know what I would pick. Linus has a plethora of activities to choose from. And I just can't believe everything Linus gets to experience right now. It is amazing. And every single person who helped her get here, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. She's having the best time. All right, next.
Si le contestan nada más en español.
Oriana Guevara Aponte.
¿Dónde es usted?
Sí,
Ya sé.
señor.
Ma'am, you were charged with theft.
La que está con hurto, robo,
You were facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine.
de $2,000.
We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent.
En silencio.
Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present.
Abogado presente.
If you cannot afford one,
Vea, por favor.
one will be appointed to you, ma'am.
Officers were
Oficiales
dispatched to a
fueron
Walmart
despachados
in
a un
Harris
Walmart
County,
en Condado de Harris,
Texas,
Texas.
in response to a theft.
Por esta un hurto, robo.
The loss prevention
El
officer
guardia
told
encubierto le
officers
dijo a los
that the
oficiales
defendant
que la
placed
acusada puso
numerous items
varios
into
artículos
Walmart shopping
en
bags
bolsas de
that were
Walmart
already in her
y
cart.
ya estaban en su carrito.
The defendant continued to
acusado
place
continuó
additional items
poniendo
into the bags,
artículos adicionales a
including a
las bolsas,
blanket
incluyendo
and plug-in sets.
y unos aerosoles.
The defendant then walked
acusado
past
después
all points of
pasó
sale
caminando,
without paying for
pasando
the
por los puntos de
items.
venta sin pagar por los artículos.
No prior criminal
Ningún
history,
antecedente
Judge.
penal previo. ¿Cuál es el valor?
The DIMS don't say, I'm checking to see if
Voy a
the
revisar.
offense report is up.
Great to see you. Look,
We do have some discovery and I'm just
Tenemos
seeing
alguno de
if
descubrimiento de
one
las
of them is the
evidencias. No,
offense.
I need a value.
necesito
I know.
un valor.
Okay, yes,
Bueno,
$218.52.
$218.52.
Ms. Guevara, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case.
Fonzie, you have a wife.
Tell me, are you a United States citizen?
No,
Were you in this country with or without permission?
sin permiso.
Con permiso.
With permission.
I don't know whether you do or
No sé
not.
si lo
Quite
tiene o
frankly,
no,
it doesn't matter. The only thing I will tell you is that if you are not, or if there's any problem with your paperwork and you go to jail and immigration finds you,
Que la encuentra
they
ahí.
will put a detainer on you and you will be stuck in custody until this case is over with and then shipped off to immigration and sit there for another 6 to 9
Quedaría
months.
hasta unos 6
If you do not want that to happen, do not violate any of the conditions that we put forth on you now and do not pick up a new case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to go to any Walmart for any reason whatsoever. Do you understand?
Entendido. Sí,
Sí,
señor.
señor.
Yes, sir.
If I find that you go to Walmart, I'm going to revoke your bond, put you in jail. You will not get any more PR bonds.
No va a recibir otra cuenta personal.
Now, you have an attorney. It is your responsibility to stay in touch with Ms. Garcia. She will tell you when you have to come back to court. She tells you she can't get a hold of you. Likewise, we will issue a warrant for your arrest. We will have you sign a reset with Victoria. After that, we'll have you take a seat in the jury box while we get your bond conditions. We'll have you sign it, and after that, you'll be free to go. Heed this warning, man. You will not get another.
Esa advertencia no va a tener otra.
All right, I got a good question for chat today. Based on chat, what is the best beach that you've ever gone to? The most beautiful beach you've ever been in?
Please. Thank
Pase a
you.
la izquierda. My competition.
Fight, fight, fight.
Go to the next vendor speaker, page 6, Jay Alvarado.
Helen Tofila de Alvarado Mejia.
For me, Lucilo Beach in Puerto Rico. Crystal clear water. First time I ever saw crystal clear water. And I was in Jamaica before. It was just beautiful.
You are Helen de Alvarado Mejia.
Sí.
Yes.
Ma'am, you're charged with theft. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you.
Officers were dispatched to a J.C. Penney in Harris County, Texas, in response to a theft. The loss prevention officer told officers that he observed the defendant take various items and walk past all points of sales without paying. The officer observed this on the store surveillance. The total cost of the stolen items was $178, and the items included a smartwatch and skin products. The co-defendant in the case was arrested for possession of a controlled substance out of the same transaction, and she's up in felony courts, and this defendant has no prior criminal history.
Did the other person have a theft case as well? Do you know, or just a PCS? Because if they also charged the co-defendant with theft, we need to know what the cause number is, because it may
It
transfer.
was just a PCS, Judge.
That's it? Okay. Mr. Alvarado, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. Tell me, are you a United States citizen? What happens if you go to jail, man?
Well, I don't want to go to jail.
I know,
Just say.
that's not my question.
Eso no fue mi
What
pregunta.
happens if you go to jail? I want you to think and I want you to realize the consequence of behavior. So tell me, what happens if you go to jail?
¿Qué pasa si te da caso?
No, pues. Macy has severía.
Apoyo.
But my daughters would
Mi familia.
be without support, my family.
You're not in this country with permission.
No están en país
So
con
if you go to
permiso.
jail and immigration finds you, there will put a detainer on you. And you're going to be in there for about 6 to 9 months. That's what you have waiting for you if you go to jail. Anything more than 4 hours, immigration sweeps it on a daily basis. I'm going to put conditions on you now. If you violate these conditions, I'll put you in jail. You will not get any more PR money. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
The relationship is the co-defendant to this person. Do you know?
It doesn't seem.
Okay.
Good
I'm
morning,
ordering you
Irish.
not to have any contact with this person. I'm also ordering you not to go back to JCPenney.
Regresar a JCPenney.
If you violate these conditions, likewise, you know what's going to happen. You will not get any more warnings from us.
So no contact with the co-defendant
Yeah,
or the store,
or going to the JCPenney.
any other.
Yeah, any JCPenney. Tell me, ma'am, what do you do for a living?
Trabajo en remodelación.
I work in remodeling.
Do you have a steady income?
Tiene ingresos estables.
No.
No.
Apply for an appointed lawyer.
¿Quiere aplicar por un nuevo edificio?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay, we'll give you an application.
Una aplicación.
I need you to fill it out. I need to know everything about you. Do not just leave everything blank. I will send it right back to you. I need to know numbers. I need to know how much money you have coming in a month. I need to know how much money you spend. We'll have you take a seat in the jury box while you do that. Do not leave until you sign our bond conditions. Otherwise, I'll issue one for your arrest as well. And then
De otra manera que-
we'll take a look at the application here shortly. Please, yeah. Anytime someone's not monitored, yeah, please.
All right, Judge, next is page 15. Montanez.
I'm pretty sure it's an Air Force base in Maryland, but I need to be more specific. Where is it in Maryland? Anyway, I can't remember. It might be right in Baltimore. So, oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. The words that I'm trying to say are right on the tip of my tongue. But when I was younger, when I was a little girl, we used to go to the store and buy chicken wings or parts of chicken, whatever they had chicken. And we used to let the chicken sit out in the backyard in the heat for days, 5 days, 6 days. And then we used to go to this Air Force base in Maryland, which is right on the tip of my tongue, and I can't remember what it's called. We used to go crabbing with that chicken, and the crabs there were outstanding. Like, you got the best crabs from this one Air Force base that I can't remember the name of. Then 9/11 happened, and we weren't allowed back again. You know, the public was not allowed to go near it. So I keep thinking about that. This Air Force base has the best crabs that no one has touched since 9/11. There's probably a billion crabs in there right now. We need someone in the Air Force. I think it was the Air Force. Maybe it was the Navy. I can't remember. Oh, I was a little girl. I was so little. To let us in there so we can get some crabs.
Solamente en 10 euros.
You, Basilio Montanes, you were charged with failure to stop and give information, which is leaving the scene of an accident without exchanging information.
Baltimore, Maryland, maybe.
You are facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
On November 3rd of 2024, officers were dispatched in reference to a subject who struck the complainant's vehicle and failed to stop and give information. The complainant and followed the defendant to the area of Green Meadow and Alice Road, where they waited for officers to arrive. Upon contact with the defendant advised officer that he struck a vehicle and said he did not stop. Officer observed fresh damage to the left front bumper of defendant's motor vehicle and to the left side of the complainant's vehicle. The complainant was positively ID'd the defendant and advised officer that as they were stationary at a red light, the defendant turned right and struck him. The amount in damages to complainant's vehicle was in excess of $200.
Okay. Mr. Montanez, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. Do you have a Texas driver license, sir?
Yes.
Do you have liability insurance in your name?
La troca del patrón.
It was my boss's truck.
No. I'm asking you if you have liability insurance in your name.
Estoy en la aseguranza del patrón también.
I am under the insurance of. my
I want to
boss's.
know for sure before you leave here, before we allow you to drive. Unless I see your name on a policy, I'm going to order you not to drive as a condition of your bond. I want to make sure that everyone in Harris County is protected in the event that you get into an accident. That requires you to have, anytime you're driving, you must have a Texas driver license and liability insurance. Do you understand? What do you do for a living, sir?
Trabajo de landscaping y de stain, seal,
I work in landscaping.
and
Sheetrock?
stain,
Stain.
seal, and many things.
How much money do you make a month?
¿Cuánto dinero gana al mes?
Al mes gano como unos de 900 a 1000 por semana.
It's like 900 to 1,000 a week.
Now, over 4,000 a month.
Como $4,000.
Sí.
Yes,
You will need to hire your own lawyer, sir.
I don't have a
We're
lot.
going to reset your case to give you time to hire a lawyer. So I will first have you go to Victoria, sign a reset, and then we will have you take a seat, okay?
Yep.
When you come back, please have a lawyer, sir. We will have you sign bond conditions that you're not allowed to drive without liability insurance. If you do, I'm going to put you in jail. You will not get more PR bonds.
Sí,
Do you understand?
sin eso lo meteremos en la cárcel, ¿entiendes?
Okay, please. Can you file that? No driving without a Texas driver license.
All right, I gotta tell a quick story. I don't know how quick it's gonna be. I don't care. Because we have one of our replay crew is going through it, guys. MJD is amazing, and not in chat often, but in comments a lot, and going through it. So, MJD, I want to tell you a story. And I'll tell you why it's important in a second. When I was in high school, I don't remember what class this was for. I think it was health and nutrition, gym. It was gym, but health and nutrition, whatever. So we're sitting in this classroom, and this teacher, I think her name was Kathy as well, Hoffman, I think. She had us go through this exercise where we all sat there with our eyes closed, and she started describing this lemon that we're fake holding in our hand. She's like, hold this lemon, feel the divots. Anyway, feel the skin, and she had us like peel the lemon and whatever, and smell the lemon and taste lemon, and it was a fake lemon. It was just in our imagination, but our mouths started to water when we did this. And she said, see, your brain can't always distinguish fact from fiction. Your brain, is able to think something is reality, even when it's not, because that's what our brains do. Now, MJD, thinking about that your brain can't always distinguish fact from fiction, I want you to do something that sounds stupid. It does, but just try it once. All right. It might make you feel better. Okay. So you see everybody in chat all the time, every day, and you feel like you already know them. It's easy to. Like, people who watch my stream feel like they know CJ, they know Linus, they know Fosse just as well as we all do because they see all the chats. So, you probably have your favorite superstars or whatever. All right, now back to where my story ends. If you take your hand and your other hand and hold it any way you want, any way you feel like a hand should be held, right? You can just stop, hold your hand, don't look at it or whatever. And it feels like in your brain, you can actually just tell your brain, oh my gosh, you know, this is Rebecca's hand. I'm holding Rebecca's hand right now. So when it gets really, 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 really bad, you know, you can hold my hand, you can hold Kelly's hand, pretend that she's telling you some interesting stuff, whatever. But when it gets really bad, you can hold my hand anytime you want. Your brain will not know the difference, I promise. So try that today. I'm going to do it too. So I will actually be holding your hand today. Get you through this day. I don't know how bad this day is going to be for you, but we'll get through it. We really will.
And liability insurance, please.
All right, Judge, page 16. Fred, come on up. Fred Leyva.
Yeah, I know where some of these hands have been.
Good morning, ma'am. You are
Morning.
Yurisbel Perez Leyva.
Yes.
Ma'am, you're charged with prostitution. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and/or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you.
On November 1st, 2024, officers were working in an undercover capacity while conducting a vice investigation at Glamour Girls, a sexual-oriented business located at 14428 Hempstead Road in Harris County, Texas. While inside, officer was approached by the defendant. The two engaged in a conversation.
Guys, that's so cool. Did this happen the whole docket? There's Linus. Is she going to charge him for this hour that she had to be here?
That turned sexual in nature. The defendant asked the officer if he wanted to go to the VIP room in return for $120. When officer asked what it would include, the defendant replied, "Me." Officer told the defendant that he wanted to fuck, and the defendant smiled at him and said, "Okay, everything for $400. The defendant agreed to have straight sex with the officer for a fee of $400.
Ma'am, I'm going to find that there's
Oh, Carrie, everybody's falling apart. Everybody has these huge tragedies happening to them right now. It's crazy. I mean, people are going through it right now, big time. You're missing a lot.
probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm going to order you as a condition of your bond not to engage in like kind activity. If I find that you continue with this, I'm going to put you in jail. You will not get any more PR bonds. You understand?
Okay.
Would you like to apply for a court-appointed lawyer, ma'am? Okay, we will give you an application. I need to know how much money you make a month. I will take a look at it. And then if you qualify, I will give you a lawyer today. I'll have you sign a receipt with Victoria, and then we will have you take a seat in the jury box. Do not leave until you sign our bond conditions. Otherwise, I'll issue a warrant for your arrest. Please. So no engaging in, please.
All right, Judge, page 4. Booker, come on up. Counsel, please. Thank you. Have a seat.
You are Taylor Brooker,
Two.
or Booker, sorry. Ms. Booker, you're charged with assault of a family member. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot
That's
afford one,
good that
one will
you're
be
clear.
appointed to you, ma'am.
Officers were dispatched to a residence in Harris County, Texas, in response to an assault. The complainant, defendant's sister, told officers that she and the defendant got into an argument. The complainant was sitting on the couch when the defendant came, stood over her, and tried to take complainant's phone out of her hand. The complainant pushed defendant away, and the defendant began striking the complainant. The complainant told officers that defendant was holding the complainant by the hair and bit her on the ear, breaking the skin and causing pain. Judge, this defendant has also had a
Holyfield.
prior AFM, impeding breath, with the same complainant. We've spoken to the complainant and she wants no contact.
Ms. Booker, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you now not to have any contact with this person whatsoever. Do you understand?
Two.
I'm also ordering you as a condition of your bond not to be in possession of weapons as well. If I find that you're in possession of your weapons, you try to have contact with this person in whatever means. I don't care. No contact means no Snapchat, Facebook, social media. Do you understand? I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're using, likewise, I will put you in jail. How old are you, ma'am? You're 21. What do you do with yourself now?
I take care of my grandparents. I do healthcare.
You get paid for that?
Yes, sir.
How much money do you make a month?
1K a month. 1K a month.
Did you graduate from high school?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to work on that right now. I am making that a condition of your bond. You cannot go through life at the minimum without a high school education. I'm going to bring you back. I'll give you a lawyer. Are you really rolling your eyes at me?
I can't hear you. That's
I want you to work on getting your GED.
fine.
I'm making that a condition of your bond.
I heard that part. I just didn't hear anything else, sir.
Attitude will get you everywhere.
I'm sending you for a drug and alcohol test right now. I want to know what, if anything, is in your system. If you fail to take the test, if you fail to come back, I'm going to revoke your bond. You
Sorry.
understand? I'm sending you for a drug and alcohol test right now. I want to know what, if anything, is in your system. If you fail to take the drug test, if you fail to come back, I will issue a warrant for your arrest. Do you understand? When you come back, we will talk about your lawyer situation, about working on your, getting your GED as well. Just take a seat for me, man. Yeah, no contact, no weapons. I'm going to send her for a
I'm
test now.
hiding, so no one knows who I am.
Page 15, Nambo, come on up.
Hey, guys, I didn't even see there was a MOAB that was in this case, right? I didn't even, a MOAB was issued in this case, right? Did you see? Forgot to even ask. Booker,
Yeah, well,
Hi, Jen. I watched all the comments. I didn't watch the video because I hate watching myself. But I played the video on mute and I opened chat up and I watched all the comments from the judge's stream, the 32 and or whatever, when I was there, when I got into the court, and we were locked out. And Jen's comments were the best the whole time. I saw Jen comment after comment after comment. I need a doggy. Yes, I do. One that gets me a beer out of the refrigerator.
I gotta go over that with her, so when she comes back, we'll do that again. Hi, Ralph.
Sure, how you doing?
Good morning. Who do we have here?
Maria Nambu.
I don't have to hide bloodshot eyes though.
It's an arraignment, Your Honor.
Ramos?
Nambu,
Oh,
Nambu.
number, okay. Morning, Ms. Nombo.
Good morning.
Ma'am, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you.
Officers observed the 2017 black GMC Sierra failed to maintain a single lane by driving onto the curb and straddling the curb for 70 yards. Officer followed the truck and observed it to fail to obey a traffic signal by failing to stop at a red light. The truck had the front half protruding into the intersection. A traffic stop was conducted. The defendant appeared confused, fumbled with the key to turn off the vehicle. Officer observed a clear plastic baggie containing a green leafy substance in the center console in plain view. The defendant denied taking drugs or alcohol. The defendant could not locate the license, which officer could observe in her wallet. The defendant was unable to understand officer's directions and was swaying while standing. Officer observed HFD check on the defendant and
Did you just really say for a change? The men are taking over. Ladies, for a change, we're just gonna have the men run things for a change. Because I guess we control everything now. So we need the men too. I'm not getting no bun a beer. I'm telling you, I can't get you a beer. I can't. It will not be full by the time you get it.
they cleared the defendant, but then the defendant seemed to go almost unconscious. The defendant was transported to LPJ. DICs were read and the defendant consented to blood. Officers searched the vehicle and observed antipsychotics, antihistamines, antibiotics, and via juice. Nurses could not draw blood even though they tried multiple different points. Officers got a grand jury subpoena and medical records show the defendant had tested positive for cocaine, benzos, and cannabinoids.
Ms. Nombo, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm sending you now for a drug test. I want to know what, if anything, is in your system. You just had a DWI that was dismissed, so I'm now placing a restriction on your license that you're not allowed to drive any vehicle that doesn't have an ignition interlock on it. If you're caught driving a vehicle that doesn't have an interlock on it, you will go to jail. You will not get any more PR bonds. You understand?
Yes, sir.
If you have a drug and alcohol problem, you better address it, because if you don't, I'm going to do it for you. And I promise
I am
you're not going to like the way that I do it.
counseling and I'm doing counseling and see a psychiatrist.
Address the drug issue, because I'm telling you now, I'm going to test you like crazy. And if I find that you have a problem, I will have a contempt hearing, hold you in contempt, slap you with 180 days, probate it for 2 years, and put you in a rehab facility. Don't use.
He showed me the jail. He showed me a couple jails while I was there yesterday. And I mean, we know they sit on like these tiny little metal benches with nothing else, but it doesn't really hit you until you see that little cell with that little bench in it and it's just cold and metal, and that's what they have to stay 24/7. They're like there's nothing soft, there's nothing warm, there's no warm blanket or anything, and that's 24/7. You go to jail, you're going to be uncomfortable and you're going to be cold.
My only concern is public safety. If you do anything to violate that or make my public unsafe, do you understand?
Sir, I haven't even gotten a traffic ticket since that stopped.
I don't know. I looked through a big window into it.
Okay, so
And the
Ralph, I'm
door.
going to send her for a test now. We'll have her come right back. Depending on what the test shows, we'll go forward. If you want to leave me I think I have your cell phone. Let me make sure. Here, leave me your cell phone, and then I'll text you as soon as she comes back and we'll go for it. Do you have a pen? Please. Thank you.
This way, Campbell.
Okay.
This way. All right, the next is page 21. Al Shiner. Come on up.
Matthew, you sound like you're
Thank
feeling
you.
better.
Ralph, I'll
You feel
text you,
better?
okay?
Good morning, Art.
Hey, good morning. What was the last name?
Welsham.
Page 21.
Thanks. All right, Ms. Wilshire, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. You're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you next. I see that you're also charged with failure to comply with the duty and striking an unattended vehicle as well. You're also facing up to 6 months in jail and or $2,000 fine on that one as well. Okay.
On October 31st of 2024, officers received a call for service regarding an intoxicated female driving a white BMW that hit several vehicles on a public roadway. Upon arrival, officer made contact with the wheel witness, who advised that the defendant hit a Subaru on the 11700 block of Idlebrook in Harris County, Texas. Officers searched the license plate on the defendant's vehicle and it went to the registered owner's address. Upon arriving at the residence, officer observed a white BMW matching the description and noticed fresh damage on the front passenger side of the vehicle. Officer made contact with the defendant's wife, who stated the last person operating the motor vehicle was the defendant. Upon contact with the defendant, she admitted to hitting a vehicle. HGN was attempted, but the defendant was unable to follow simple directions and the officer was unable to get accurate results, and the defendant refused other SFSTs. DICs were read but refused and a blood warrant was signed and executed. Officers made contact with the complainant, the owner of the hit motor vehicle, whose back bumper has been scratched and detached from the car as a result of the collision. No prior criminal history, judge, and eligible driver's license.
How do you know it was her that was driving?
The license plate matched
So?
the one with the,
Yeah, I understand. Do we have anyone that
Kelly?
puts her in the car driving?
Kelly, are you here?
yeah, the witness, judge, they,
Actually sees it's her?
no, but he's, the witness sees the license plate and gets a description of the vehicle, and when officers
Carrie.
searched the license plate, it went to their address.
I know it's her car, but do
Yes.
you have anyone that identifies her as a driver? Number one, they get her at the house. How do we know she's not
looked very
consuming alcohol
nice.
right when she gets to the house? She doesn't become DWI or she's not drinking at the house. There's a lot of issues. Yeah.
You might give me a couple moments. And we'll
Take your time.
Look at that.
You want to come back a little bit later? You want like 10 minutes?
Even less, Judge, I'm just gonna check the offense report and see what I
Okay,
got.
yeah.
Live, it's okay.
Is it just me? Or since Pavel has gone away, have we had a lot of no probable cause? We need Pavel back. Kelly, are you here?
You've got A, you've got C, but you don't have B yet.
Yes,
you know?
judge, no, we understand.
So. We'll do something else.
Hey, you wanna step aside, Judge, for a couple?
Yeah, do you mind? Just give me 5, let me, because we have a lot.
Sure, sure.
to do.
Have a seat, sir.
Like maybe 5, 10
Have a
minutes.
seat.
Yes.
Sure.
When I first started this channel, Kelly single-handedly picked up chat and sort of made this chat what it is today. This chat is different than the other court chats that I've been in by far. I mean, it's just different. And that has a lot to do with Kelly. And I haven't really had Kelly since election night. And the chat is great, absolutely great, but like Kelly's like one of the main things of court vibes, and we haven't had her in so long. And yeah, I need Kelly back.
Who's next?
All right, Judge, next is page 6. Layard, come on up.
Hmm.
Before I So I usually read the comments, not who says them. So when I'm reading chat, I just read the comment and not who says it. And I click it up here and then I find out. So I saw, this is what I saw. You are both a menace to society, right? I assumed immediately that someone was saying something to Donald and Fozzie. They were talking about Donald and Fozzie right away. That's where my brain went. And then I looked and it was Donald who posted it.
Diego Cuellar. You speak English, sir? Mr. Cuellar, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to, if you cannot afford an attorney, we will provide one for you. Are you high right now?
He's giggling at the judge.
On October 21st of 2024, at about 11:23
You smell
p.m.,
anything on it?
officers conducted a traffic stop on the defendant's motor vehicle after observing it
Judge, we can smell it from here. We're getting a contact high just watching this.
to be traveling 35 miles per hour in the center lane of a freeway in Harris County, Texas, failed to maintain a single lane of traffic upon exiting the freeway and driving with an expired registration. Upon contact, officers observed the defendant to be the driver of the vehicle. Officers observed a very strong odor
He turned to Linus and asked that. Do you smell anything? Because the judge know. They know.
of marijuana to be coming from the vehicle and saw a partially smoked marijuana joint on the center console. Officers observed the defendant to have red, glossy eyes and dilated pupils. SFSTs were conducted, 0 out of 6 HGN, but officer believed the defendant showed a lack of convergence, which is indicative of cannabis usage. 5 out of 8 walk and turn and 2 out of 4 one-leg stand. DICs were red and the defendant consented to breath and blood. The breath was 0.00 and the blood was drawn, Judge. He does not have a driver's license and he does have a previous history.
What?
It's juvenile, Judge.
Any DWIs, anything like that?
No DWIs.
Cuellar, how old are you, sir?
17.
For a living?
Nothing right now.
High school?
I just moved out here
From where?
from Port Lavaca. Port Lavaca.
So who are you living with here now?
Dad,
Okay, is your dad here now?
he outside.
Go get him.
I'm ready on that other case.
Okay, we finish this real quick and then. That's not that.
No. That's not it.
Good morning. Are you familiar with what happened? Do you know anything about this case? First off, let me say, thank you for coming. I appreciate that you're here. He's charged with driving while intoxicated. He's facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We've done probable cause. I have found that probable cause exists. Do you want to hear it? Okay. Do you mind again, please?
Yes, Judge.
Thanks.
On October 21st of 2024, at about 11:23 p.m., officers conducted a traffic stop on the defendant's motor vehicle after observing it to be traveling 35 miles per hour in the center lane of a freeway in Harris County, Texas, failed to maintain a single lane of traffic upon exiting the freeway and driving with expired registration. Upon contact, officers observed the defendant to be the driver of the vehicle. officers observed a very strong odor of marijuana to be coming from the vehicle and saw a partially smoked marijuana joint on the center console. Officers observed the defendant to have red glossy eyes and dilated pupils. SFSTs were conducted, 0 out of 6 HGN, but officer believed the defendant to show a lack of convergence, which is indicative of cannabis usage. 5 out of 8 walk and turn, and 2 out of 4 one leg stand. DICs were read and the defendant consented to breath and blood. The breath was 0.00 and blood was drawn. The defendant does not have a driver's license.
That's what's happened.
Quit your
No
job.
more marijuana. I'm sending you now for a drug test. I want to know what, if anything, is in your system, and you're to come right back. If you fail to go take the test, if you fail to come back, I will revoke your bond. You do not have a Texas driver license. You are not allowed to drive. I am also making that a condition of your bond. Do you understand?
Sir.
You are 17 years old. You have your life ahead of you. You are doing nothing at this point when you should be at a minimum in high school trying to get your degree. I'm now also making that a condition of your bond. You are to get back into high school or get your GED. And I'm going to bring you back in 2 weeks and I want to see what you have done to start that. If you've done nothing, it's not going to go well. Do you understand, Mr. Cuellar?
Yes, sir.
He lives with you.
Or he actually does. He actually lives with me now, but he just got here like 2 weeks, like maybe a couple weeks ago. So he's been living with his grandparents out of Victoria.
Okay.
He's not even from there.
Is he behaving with you? Okay.
The whole point has been kind of like like a problem with him living down there. So that's why I got him to try to.
He behaves, Judge. His brother puff passes but doesn't pass. He passes every time. Puff pass. Ugh. I can't say it this morning. Never mind. Continue.
Has he been having a lot of issues down there?
Not that I know of. I don't know of the issues down there. I'm just becoming aware. You know what I'm saying? We just kind of like connected and trying to make everything right now.
This is not a good way to start through your life. You look high as hell right now, Mr. Cuellar. I mean, I want you to start working on your education, and I'm going to keep you extremely close to me. I'm going to make sure that you do not pick up any new cases, and the system is not going to fail
What
you here.
subject did I broach?
Do you understand? If I have to keep putting you in jail to make sure
And
to
being
get you to
high?
understand, we're going to do that. But you will leave here a success. You're not going to leave here worse off than you came. Do you understand? Okay. Would you like me to appoint him a lawyer? Okay, I'm gonna appoint him a lawyer, but I'm gonna send him for a drug test. I want to know what, if anything, he's gonna test positive for. And we'll have him come right back, and then I'll momentarily have him talk to a lawyer as well, and then we'll discuss the bond conditions as well.
Rambo is so cute. Rambo, I just want that dog so bad.
If you have any issues with him, just let me know, and then I'll take care of it for you. All you gotta tell me is what's going on. He starts acting a fool, tell me, and I'll straighten everything out for you. Okay? Before you
Oh,
leave,
so
I'll give you
no
my
man
card as
would
well,
be able to
so that
find
you
our
can get in
channel.
contact with us. All right? Okay. All right, take a seat for me, sir.
And Judge, that's us. You want us to file that? No drugs?
No. Don't worry, because we're monitoring him like crazy. All right, come up, ma'am. Where was counsel? All right, counsel. Come on up, Mr. Crowe. All right, so I have several issues with this, Michael. First off, how do you prove it was her driving? Number one. Number two, how do we know she was DWI at the time she was driving and not she gets home and she just starts getting loaded?
Yes, Judge, I have answers to both of those questions for you.
Okay.
So the defendant driving the vehicle strikes somebody on the highway. I'll connect that later on. They find the license plate because the witnesses, I give them the license plate. They run it. The registered owner of the vehicle is the defendant. They go to her house. Her wife answers the door. Her wife states the defendant's the last person that drove the vehicle. Okay. The defendant was contacted. She admits to driving the vehicle and striking somebody on the highway.
Okay.
And she admits, I'm sorry. She first admits that she was driving and drinking, but she did not admit to striking somebody on the highway. Later on, when she gets to JPC, she admits, okay, I was drinking, but I didn't strike somebody on the highway. So she has multiple inconsistent statements. First, she says, yes, I struck somebody, but I wasn't drinking. Then she goes to JPC and then she says, right before they do the blood draw, because she declines the breath test and say, okay, we're gonna get a warrant. We're gonna get your blood anyways and know your alcohol content. She says, okay, well, I was drinking, but I didn't strike somebody on the highway. And I wasn't driving.
Okay,
But the witness
Again, we can't have it G rated at all because no man will be able to find the channel.
identifies.
the failure, right, to the FSGI.
She admits it. She says, yes, I struck somebody, but I wasn't drinking. Then she goes to JPC and then she says, right before they do the blood draw, because she declines the breath test and say, okay, we're gonna get a warrant. We're gonna get your blood anyways and know your alcohol content. She says, okay, well, I was drinking, but I didn't strike somebody on the highway. And I wasn't driving.
Okay,
But the witness
the failure-
identifies.
the failure, right, to the FSGI.
She admits to drinking, Judge, while driving.
That in and of itself is not sufficient. You know, at the time, we don't know, does she have bloodshot eyes, slurred speech? Do we know? All we have is just one admission of drinking. That's it.
So one of the witnesses, Judge, that observed her strike the vehicle, because they did observe her in the vehicle after the strike, before she left. She states in a voluntary statement, older white lady in BMW, acting crazy, rear ends a Subaru, got out of the car, slurring her speech, barefoot, stating she was
That's
trying to
different.
get
You
home.
give me any indication that she
Yes, Judge.
leads you
Yes, Judge.
just to believe that she's intoxicated, that you have objective facts, that's something else.
The written statement in the offense report, Judge, from a witness.
Counsel, did you want to state anything?
No, one judge.
Did you want to say anything?
No, Judge, I mean, I just agree with you. I think it's hard, again, put her behind the vehicle. They said they have a witness. The witness never really ID'd her, gave her just kind of a description, but didn't really ID and say, you know, the officer never brought her to the scene. That's the person or anything like that.
Two different admissions, though. That's how we connect that, right? And then my other concern was whether she was intoxicated, right? Because we have a disconnect there, but we have witnesses that see her in a certain way that will lead us to believe as to why. So, all right.
She's gonna dispute that she admitted.
Sure.
Judge, but still, I
This is just a mere probable cause hearing, right? Just to determine whether there's enough to go forward. It by no means does it mean that you're guilty, just enough to go forward. Is it enough to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt? Perhaps not, perhaps, I don't know. You know, evidence will point to whose side is correct, because I wasn't there. Mr. Carrabba wasn't there. Michael wasn't there, but evidence will lead us to believe. I mean, there should be videos, dash cam, you know, videos of you on the night in question, and all that will tell us whose side is correct. It will take a while, but in the interim, don't consume alcohol. Don't use illegal drugs, and I'm going to test you like crazy. If I find that you're consuming alcohol or any illegal drugs, I will put you in jail. You will not get any more PR bonds. Do you understand?
Yes.
Michael, do you see any prior DWIs?
Checking now, Judge.
Do you have a valid
Michael
Texas
gave her
driver
the
license?
alcohol.
ma'am? Do you have valid liability insurance in your
Yes.
name? Okay, as long as you have both, you can continue to drive. But like I said, no alcohol, no illegal drugs.
She's got no criminal history, Judge, and her
Okay,
driver's license is currently eligible.
all right. So for now, you have a lawyer. Because you have a lawyer, we will waive your appearance. You don't have to waste your time coming to court, but you must stay in touch with counsel, and he'll tell you if and when you have to come back to court. If he tells me he can't get a hold of you, we will issue a warrant for your arrest. So don't pick up any new cases. Don't use, stay in touch with counsel, and we're good. Give me a question.
No, Micah's the serial killer of the group. He's probably roaming the streets right now.
All right. We'll have you sign a wreath of Victoria. We'll have you get with pretrial, and then you're free to go after that.
Can I say one thing? I like the jacket.
Thank you. Take care.
Thank you, Judge.
Right this way. All right, go ahead and sign the release that first. All right, Judge, next is page 7. Delcid Morales. Okay, next judge is page 7. Drake, come on up.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Drake, you're charged with interference to the duties of a public servant. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. If you cannot afford a lawyer will be appointed to represent you.
Officers were dispatched to a residential area in Harris County, Texas, in response to a disturbance call. While officer was attempting to take a statement from the witness, the defendant's ex-boyfriend, the defendant continuously interrupted the investigation, preventing the officer from taking the statement. The defendant then threw a TV stand at the officer, hitting him in the leg but not causing pain. Officers then attempted to detain defendant, and while handcuffing her, the defendant actively resisted by pulling her arms away. And she does have a pretty lengthy criminal history, Judge.
You're lucky you're not charged with assault on a peace officer facing up to 10 years in prison.
Murdered my ex-boyfriend.
And I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm not putting any conditions on you. Just be careful, man. You know, when you get into a pissing match with people with the authority of arrest, who wins? Right. Do you have an income? What do you do for a living, man?
I'm not working right now.
Would you like me to appoint you a lawyer? Okay, we'll do that for you. Do you mind giving an application? I need you to fill out an application for me, and then we'll have you talk to someone here momentarily. Okay? Please.
Right this way. Next judge is page 14. Melendez, come on up.
John Melendez.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
All right, move on.
All right, Judge, next is
I am absolutely obsessed with Victoria. She is a force of nature. I sat beside her at lunch yesterday, at some point in the past, and she is absolutely amazing. Judge Fleischer was on my right and Victoria was on my left. And I was sitting in the middle, and they were both larger than life. They're larger than life when you meet them in person.
page 16 and 17. Romero, come on up. Booker.
This is going to be the last one, guys. Victoria makes me poop my shelf.
Your case is 1,076 days old. We have given you PR bond after PR bond. Doesn't work like that, Mr. Romero. We don't play catch and release anymore. You have a lawyer today. Take a seat for me in the jury box.
What were the bond conditions for Guevara?
I'm going to find him
Just,
I don't,
because he's our last one today. So that was too quick. I can't see a thing. I don't even know. I'm just looking for a blob of blue. Oh man, he sat in that jury box for a long time. He never came out of the jury. Is he still in the jury box? Oh, guys, sometimes people go into the jury box and they never, never, never come out. So we'll do this one.
Are they all filled out? Do you know?
Yeah, and then. That's why. Hey, man, let him do it.
¿Te agarra apunte?
Hey, who
All right.
asked that? I didn't do anything. Who asked that? Who was it? Fess up. When that plane got diverted, who said, what did I do? I was asleep.
You are Jason Moreno. Good morning, Ms. Moreno. So I see that you have a felony fraud that you're facing upstairs. Looks like you're wanted out of state. I have no idea what for. I know that your lawyer's asking me to set you a bond. I don't know. I don't know you. I've never met you before, but we're gonna get to know you real quick. How you look on paper is really gonna tell me who you are. So that'll be a big determining factor. Okay,
He's wanted from Contra Costa County, California for carjacking and robbery. The case out there has a 200,000 bond. Additionally, in that case, he and a co-defendant held
Royal Patrick.
20 witness at gunpoint and stole his car.
Allegedly, Judge.
And Judge, he had a juvenile theft that he did a felony theft that he did a deferred on and a juvenile robbery that he did probation on. So I am opposed to a
My
bond on
only
this.
concern, Mr. Moreno, is public safety. And they're telling me here that you got a carjacking case where you allegedly point a gun at someone? Hell no. You got to understand that that's,
Understood. He wanted to know what it would be if he could pay it. At this point, I
no
believe.
me,
Gotcha.
no me.
At this point, you will waive extradition, correct?
So understand you've made bond on the case upstairs. So what that means now is that California has 14 days to come get you as of the day that you waive formal extradition. Then if they don't come get you within that time, then you will be released. But you got to understand that if they do come get you, you have to stay in touch with counsel, because if you remain out of touch and they revoke your bond on the case upstairs here, the situation you are in now is going to be the exact situation you will be in California. So you got to stay in touch. All right.
The only thing about that is they took my phone, they're not letting me write down numbers, so how would I go about doing it if I can't get any information?
We'll get a number.
So you'll get paperwork here. Make sure to write down everybody's phone number here, and then we can give you paperwork here as well.
Family's here, Judge. I might get the numbers that he.
Yeah, you'll be able to work things out, but just don't forget, don't be Helen Keller, because it's just not going to go well. Okay, man. Good luck. Thanks.
Thank you, Judge.
You too.
Well, Ardo, I'm very proud of her for starting a job tomorrow. Jobs are important. And that means she's trying. That means she learned her lesson. That means, wait, I just got to know, did she play with her hair the whole time? Because that means she's guilty. So I think she's innocent. In my humble opinion, she's innocent. She needs to get home so she could get her GED. I want to take the GED test to see how good I would do. I don't think I would do well. All right, guys. Ooh, it's late. It's because I started late. Thank you so much for coming out. Thank you. Don't anybody yell real loud right now if Rebecca's trying to sleep. Oh man, yeah, I'm fidgety. I am fidgety. Anyway, Thanks for coming out. I'm going to put my outro on because I haven't heard it in a couple days. Kelly, I hope I see you tomorrow, but if I don't, that's okay. I love you too, Donald. Behave, and I will see you all tomorrow. There it is.
Got these life that goes digital dreams. Through the screen, her blue eyes gleam. Wicked humor, sharp as a knife. Her stream sparks electric light. Late night when the world sleeps, she's the friend that always keeps. Giggles roll like thunder loud. She stands out in any crowd. Kathy's laugh cuts through the gloom. Eyes blue like a summer's bloom. Her humor dark and twisted, sharp. In a way, there's no alarm. Freedom tales waiting to the night. Her laughter feels just right. Even when my world turns gray, with a giggle, she lights the way. Her eyes mirror sky so blue. In her jokes, there's a truth so true. With each string, she brings the light. Turns dark days into bright. Kathy's laugh cuts through the gloom. Eyes blue like a summer's bloom. Her humor dark and twisted, sharp. In a way, there's no alarm. Streaming tales waiting to the night. Her laughter feels just right. Even when my world turns gray, with a giggle, she lights the way. Kathy's laugh cuts through the gloom. Eyes blue like a summer's bloom. Her humor dark and twisted, sharp. In a way, there's no alarm.